What's going on, growers? It's James Prigioni coming to you live from Jersey. Today, I want to share with you a few techniques on how to grow more food in less space. Let's go! If you've seen some of my videos, then you probably know one of my favorite ways to get the most out of the space you have is to design a system like this, a food forest. In a food forest garden, it's not just your standard garden where we're worried about how much space we have in regards to the width and the length. We're adding that other factor, the vertical one. We're thinking of more three-dimensional. So in a food forest garden, you typically have about 7 layers. So when we're growing, these 7 layers are something we want to utilize. You'll notice here we have a fruit tree, which is one of our main layers, our canopy layers, and then underneath it we don't just have wood chips or nothing growing or even just grass or something. We're harvesting things like strawberries. This is a nice ground cover that we constantly use in the garden. This way we're using that vertical space of getting the tree, the fruit up top, and also the fruit down low. You'll notice we've got some fresh delicious strawberries here. And strawberries are one of my favorite things to grow. Easy to grow and delicious. So when designing your garden, don't just go with the standard of rows and a classic way of doing it. Grow something more fun, something different, a food forest. Nothing like eating fresh strawberries, homegrown from your own backyard. Simply nothing like it. Before I share with you the next part of the video, where I'll show you how I grow more tomatoes in less space, I wanted to share something that I'm super excited about, something I've been working on for a good amount of time, and it has to do with this shirt that I'm wearing right now. So I just launched some merchandise, and the reason I did that, well, one of the reasons was because a number of you have reached out to me, and you've asked if you could contribute to the channel, to the food forest somehow, and I don't have a Patreon or anything like that, and I didn't want to just like do anything like take donations or something, but I wanted to give something back to you if you guys wanted to give to the channel. And I think this was a good idea. We've got some shirts, we've got mugs, stickers, towels, all different kinds of things. So if you want to support the channel, if you want to show some love, the link will be down in the description, and there should also be a tab where you can scroll through to look at some of the different stuff. So let's get back into the video. You'll notice as I'm walking through this section right here, we've got some tomatoes planted in the food forest and also some other things. We've got some companions like the borage. I've got a rosemary here, and we're doing that same style of companion planting, but in the food forest, getting that extra yield underneath some of our trees and stuff. I've planted tomatoes here a number of times. They always do well. Tomatoes are one of those crops that actually like being planted in the same spot every year. And you'll notice how close some of the tomatoes are. The reason we're doing that is because I'm going to be staking these tomatoes up with some bamboo. It's called a prune stake method. So as the video progresses, I'll give you some information on that. But in order to actually stake these, we've got to get our stakes. So we're going to go to a local place, grab some bamboo for free, locally, harvest it ourselves. I'll bring you along. I'm on the location now where I'm going to be getting the bamboo. Local to me, actually at my sister's house. She has this growing wild in the back corner. And what we're looking for are pieces that are at least about 8 feet tall. We want at least 6 feet out of the ground because these tomatoes are going to be getting really tall. We're going to be pruning them to a single stem by pulling off the suckers. So we want to have at least 2 feet in the ground of the bamboo and then at least 6 feet on top. So I'll harvest some of them now. To cut the bamboo down, I'm going to use a pruning saw as opposed to loppers because I don't want to squeeze the fibers of the bamboo and crack it and weaken it at all.
Head-on collision on the tooling country road. Lord, I pray, let them be safe. No turning back, I'm just a mile away from home. Sit here, wait, let me be patient. Sometimes it's hard to ease my mind to realize you're always with me, waiting, willing to hear my prayers, my hopes, my dreams, my every need. I pray for light in times of darkness. What's meant to be will always be, though I control my destiny. Free will you gave me, though you made me. Be careful of the things you do, it eventually comes back to you. Universal law, Babylon shall fall.
Now that I've got these cut, I'm going to take them and cut them about 10 feet. This way I can fit them in the back of the truck. Then when I take them home, I'll cut off all this excess pieces on the sides here and we'll start getting our tomato steak. Okay, I'm back with the bamboo. I got a decent amount. So what I'm going to do next is just cut off all these pieces. What I like to use is an axe for this, pretty sharp one. And then I'll just cut these going down here. I like to do this so there's not really anything hanging off the side here. Just make sure if you're cutting this that you have your hand above what you're cutting, not below. That could get pretty dangerous. Another thing is, since these bamboo are fresh, when I put it into the ground, there's a possibility that they could root. So I'm gonna make sure that I keep an eye on that. I don't want any bamboo rooting in the food forest. Although it's useful, it'll spread way too much and I don't want that taking over the garden. Now I got this piece cut here. And what we're gonna do is just push it into the ground next to the tomato. Ideally, you wanna put your stakes in at the same time you're planting your tomatoes so you're not messing with any of the roots. But I just didn't have the stakes at the time. So we're gonna press it a little further away from the tomato because this is relatively tall. Then we're gonna tie this tomato up to the side of it and prune off some of the suckers. All right, we got that in pretty deep. Now what I'm gonna do is prune off some of these suckers. I'll show you what those are. You'll notice underneath here, tomato, it looks like almost there's another tomato top coming out of the side. So what we're gonna do is just prune those off and just leave one sucker at the top. I'll show you what it looks like. So this right here, it looks like how it's unfolding the leaves, the same as the top here. We wanna take those off because we just want one single stem growing up along this. What this is gonna do is, it's gonna give us a tall tomato and allow us to plant them nice and close. This way we can have more different varieties of tomatoes planted in a smaller location. Our overall yield per tomato plant may be lower, but the system yield is going to be bigger because we're going to be able to fit more tomatoes and we're going to be utilizing that vertical space. Also, when it comes to the tomatoes, I like to prune off some of the lower leaves. I'll just snap those off. This way it increases the airflow on the underneath. This isn't going to affect the fruiting. And the timing to prune your tomatoes and remove the suckers is when you could do it easily with your finger like that. You don't want really long suckers, then have to cut it because that's going to damage the tomato more than it needs to be. Now I'm going to see what I labeled this variety here, and then we're going to actually just write on the marker right here, and then wrap it around the stem. This way I can know what variety it is easily, and I can actually remove these cups. These cups were just a placeholder. Okay, got this one labeled. We've got a goldy yellow here, goldy yellow tomato. Get that in, and we've got it all pruned. All the suckers removed, and I put the stake as close as I thought I could put it without damaging the tomato. Again, you want to put these stakes in at the same time you're actually planting the tomato. And then we're just going to tie it. We're going to use an old shirt, just a cotton shirt cut. That's what I like to use. It's free, it's easy. And we're just going to tie it relatively loosely, but still so it can give it some support. And then as it continues to grow, we're going to remove the suckers and allow it to grow up one top, growing right up here. And by the end of this, we should get about 6 to 8 foot tomato. If you look back at some of my old videos, you'll notice some of these tomatoes are very tall. And this is good because, again, it increases airflow, it allows the tomatoes to get a lot of sun, and it reduces any of our chances of having any fungal issues. I know a lot of you watching are growing in a small space, and that's not something to look down upon. I consider my area to be relatively small, although it might be a little bigger than yours. But in my opinion, the people who grow in smaller spaces, that makes for better gardeners. You've got to be clever. You've got to learn how to utilize that space and get everything you can in that little area. So there's a number of different ways to do that. That's one of the reasons I shared this video, but there's a number of other things too. Bill Mollison talks about just changing the geometry of the way you plant things can help increase your harvest. He uses an example of a banana circle, where he takes a big hole, digs a hole in the center, and then puts mulch and food scraps and compost all in the center of that, and then plants bananas on the outside rim. He says that increases harvest. Another thing he does is uses keyhole gardens. This way you utilize that space as much as you can also. So I think we need to look at things and approach them from the right mindset. So some things we see as stumbling blocks can actually be stepping stones. So we got to approach it like that. Another way to get the most out of the space you have is to try to utilize things as multiple functions. For instance, this fence here, we use it to keep out tucks sometimes when we have stuff that's small, other animals and stuff, but we also use it as something to grow up. As you can see, we've got a lot of peas here. We've been eating and harvesting these. Tuck loves the peas himself. It's one of his favorite garden snacks. So again, we're using that vertical space. We're making sure we can get multiple functions out of just one thing. That's today's video, growers. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want me to go more into detail about the prune stake method with the tomatoes, just let me know. I'll expand a little bit more about what I was talking about. And also, if you want to support the channel, don't forget to check out the merchandise down in the bottom or in the description. And me and Tuck will be back at you real soon with another one. We out.
You're always with me, waiting, willing to hear my prayers, my hopes, my dreams, my every need. I pray for peace in times of war. You universal law, Babylon shall fall. The things you do shall be done unto you.